Hello everyone, welcome to the 5-Minute Discovery channel. The ocean, a vast body of liquid, is not only the majority of the Earth's water power but also the heart of our planet. In this world, the oceans are divided by area from large to small, starting with the vast Pacific Ocean, followed by the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Southern Ocean, and finally the cold Arctic Ocean. Today, we will explore together the mysterious and magical story of the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is not only a vast sea, but also a place that records great journeys, deep mysteries and beautiful landscapes. Let us take you on a colorful and emotional adventure, where every wave carries a story, and every wind whispers about undiscovered wonders. Together we will experience the endless beauty and boundless power of the Atlantic Ocean. Before going into the content, please remember to like and subscribe to support the channel. Atlantic Ocean Overview. The Atlantic Ocean, the second largest ocean on Earth, covers about 1/5 of the planet's surface area, with an area of about 106 million square kilometers, 10 times the size of China. Surrounding it are the great continents, the Americas, Europe, Africa, and part of Asia. Formed about 150 million years ago during the Jurassic period, the Atlantic Ocean is the youngest ocean in the world. Interestingly, the Atlantic Ocean connects to all the other oceans. To the east is the Indian Ocean, to the north is the Arctic Ocean, and to the south is the Southern Ocean. It also connects to the Pacific Ocean via the Panama Canal, a man-made wonder. The name, Atlantic, in Sino-Vietnamese means Great Sea in the west, while the ancient Greeks called it Sea of Atlas, after a giant god in Greek mythology. Today, we can admire the majesty of the Atlantic Ocean through famous coastal cities such as Miami in Florida, Cape Town in South Africa, London in the United Kingdom, São Paulo in Brazil, and Casablanca in Morocco. The Atlantic Ocean is not only an important part of geography but also a witness to historical journeys and fascinating stories. Events in the Atlantic. The Atlantic Ocean is not only a great ocean but also witnessed many historical and mysterious events that make it special. As the first ocean conquered by Europeans, the Atlantic opened the way to connect the world, witnessing the first ships and planes to cross it. However, it also contains mysteries that are difficult to explain. The Bermuda Triangle, located in the heart of the Atlantic Ocean, is famous for strange phenomena such as the mysterious disappearance of ships and planes, and is still a topic of endless discussion. In particular, the Titanic, a symbol of luxury and maritime ambition, met with a tragic accident in April 1912. During its first and last transatlantic journey, the Titanic hit an iceberg, causing the death of more than 1,500 people and making this shipwreck one of the most serious maritime disasters in history. From Southampton, England to New York, America, the Titanic's journey remains a tragic and moving chapter in history. The most in the Atlantic. The longest mountain range in the world. The Atlantic Ocean is not only famous for mysterious events but also contains one of the greatest geographical wonders of the planet. Under the water of this ocean, we find the longest mountain range in the world, far surpassing any mountain range on land. With a length of 65,000 kilometers, this mountain range is truly gigantic, making the Andes on land look small next to it. The longest mountain range on land is 7,000 kilometers long, but this is not the longest mountain range on the planet because our planet is both water and land. This mountain range separates the tectonic plates, the Eurasian and North American plates in the north, the African and South American plates in the south. Much of the range lies underwater, with depths ranging from 2,500 to 5,000 meters below sea level. However, only about 10% of the range's peaks rise above the water, forming small islands like Iceland. The massive range, though largely hidden, is a symbol of the power and majesty of the Atlantic Ocean. The world's largest island. The Atlantic Ocean is not only a famous sea with many historical and mysterious events, but also a place that owns many impressive records. Among them, the world's largest island, Greenland, is located in the North Atlantic, with an area of over 2.1 million square kilometers. This makes Greenland the largest island in the world, 6 times the area of Vietnam. Greenland, a part of Denmark and an autonomous region of the Kingdom of Denmark, is surrounded by the Arctic Ocean to the north, the Jelling Sea to the east, and the Atlantic Ocean to the south. Despite its huge area, Greenland's population is only about 50,000 people, making it one of the most sparsely populated places in the world. Most of the residents live in urban areas, while the remaining 10,000 people reside in rural areas. The harsh weather conditions mean that many areas of the island are only inhabited during the summer and fall, when the weather is somewhat more pleasant. In addition to being the longest mountain range and the largest island, the Atlantic Ocean also holds another record. The seawater here has the highest average salinity of any ocean in the world. This makes the Atlantic Ocean stand out not only for its beauty and grandeur, but also for the unique features it possesses. Exploring these records and features helps us better understand the mystery and grandeur of the Atlantic Ocean. The saltiest water in the Atlantic. When comparing the oceans, the Atlantic stands out with the highest salinity, reaching about 38 grams of dissolved salt per liter of water, higher than the average salinity of other oceans, which is usually around 35 grams. In particular, the North Atlantic region has the highest salinity thanks to its high temperature and remote location from the mainland, which makes it not receive much fresh water from rivers or streams. Conversely, the lowest salinity of seawater often occurs in areas near the Arctic and Antarctic, where temperatures are low, there is a lot of rain and ice often melts. Even the salinity of the sea in coastal areas also changes according to geographical location and time of year. This fluctuation shows that the salinity of the ocean is not a fixed number but depends on many external factors. Let's explore the interesting connection between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, one of the important and fascinating interactions of the world's oceans. The water divides into two. There is an interesting natural phenomenon at the border between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans that many people may not know. In fact, the oceans are not the unified bodies of water that we often think of. The boundaries between the oceans are actually very dynamic and full of surprises. Is the water between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans real? This is a question that many people are still looking for an answer to. The phenomenon of the clear separation between the two oceans is often described as a dividing line with different colors. However, is it true? According to scientific explanations, this phenomenon actually occurs due to the difference in the water structure of the two oceans. The water of the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans has differences in salinity, composition, density and chemical structure. This separating zone is called the buffer zone, and usually appears when the salinity between the two bodies of water is at least 5 times different. The Atlantic, with its higher salinity, forms a distinct line when it meets the Pacific, which is less salty. However, this phenomenon is not always as described. Some explorers, such as Jackie, a Frenchman, have dived into the Strait of Gibraltar between the Mediterranean and the Atlantic and discovered that the separation of different salinities and layers of water creates the illusion of a transparent barrier. This suggests that the separation phenomenon may be more complex than we think. Several images and videos of the color separation between the oceans have gone viral online, but there are also opinions that this is a misunderstanding. For example, a famous video shot in 2005 was mislabeled, and it was not actually the intersection of the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, but an estuary area with a combination of silt and seawater. Recently, in 2023, a similar phenomenon occurred in Sam Son, Vietnam, where the seawater had 2 different colors. According to experts and locals, this difference was due to heavy rains upstream of the Ma River, causing the turbid yellow alluvial water to mix with the blue sea, creating a color separation phenomenon. This is a normal phenomenon that occurs in estuaries. When you come to the boundary between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, you will be fascinated by this interesting phenomenon. A clear boundary line separates the two bodies of water, preventing them from mixing and having different colors. The reason for this separation lies in the water structure of the two oceans. The water of the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean differs in salinity, density, and chemical structure. When the salinity between the two bodies of water differs by at least 5 times, this phenomenon will occur, with the saltier part of the water being that of the Atlantic. So, we have finished the story about the Atlantic Ocean today. Thank you for watching and caring. If you find the story interesting, don't forget to click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell and share the video so you don't miss the next interesting content. Take the time to watch. Now, let's say goodbye and see you in the next stories.